When did you not just dodge a bullet, but evade a full-on ballistic missile strike? The emergency broadcast system blared a warning I still hear in my nightmares, a sound that meant one thing, goodbye. But somehow, against all odds, it wasn't. It was October 2008, and I was a junior at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Life was idyllic, surfing, studying sometimes, and living the dream on an island paradise. That particular morning, a Saturday, I had plans to meet my girlfriend Sarah for breakfast. She was a few minutes away at her dorm, and I was just finishing up a late-night coding project. The air was thick and humid, a typical Hawaiian morning, but something felt off. A low hum vibrated through the ground, and then a shriek. Not a siren, not a jet engine, but something far more primal and terrifying. Then the lights flickered and died. A moment later, the air raid sirens, usually tested on Tuesdays, began to wail, a sound I'd only ever associated with old war movies. But this wasn't old. This was real. And then, the emergency broadcast system cut in, a robotic female voice that cut through the panic. This is not a test. An incoming ballistic missile is detected heading towards Oahu. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a test. My blood ran cold. Missile? Here? My first thought was Sarah. My second was the sheer, impossible absurdity of it all. People were screaming outside, a chaotic chorus of terror. I grabbed my phone, desperate to call her, but the lines were jammed. I raced to my window, peering out at the normally vibrant campus, now plunged into chaos. Students were sprinting, some crying, some just standing frozen in disbelief. Then came the flash. Not directly overhead, but to the northwest, a blinding white light that lit up the entire horizon, followed by a concussive wave that hit my building like a giant fist. My window shattered inward, sending shards of glass flying. I dove under my flimsy desk, arms over my head, bracing for the end. The roar that followed was beyond anything I could have imagined. A thunderous, ripping sound that tore through the air, shaking the very foundations of the earth. It felt like the world was ending. Dust and debris rained down from the ceiling. When the ringing in my ears subsided, I cautiously looked up. My room was a mess, glass everywhere, my bookshelf toppled. But I was alive. The building was standing. The silence that followed was even more terrifying than the noise. Then, distant sirens, the sounds of emergency vehicles. And eventually, the news trickled in. It wasn't a missile strike. It was a false alarm, a single catastrophic error by a Hawaiian state employee who had accidentally hit the wrong button during a shift change. False alarm? The words felt like a cruel joke. For 20 minutes, the entire population of Hawaii, and indeed anyone watching the news, believed they were about to be obliterated. Those 20 minutes felt like an eternity. People on the freeways abandoned their cars and ran. Families huddled in bathtubs. Parents wrote last messages to their children. That day changed me fundamentally. The trivial worries of college life suddenly seemed meaningless. I started to appreciate every sunrise, every conversation, every mundane moment. Sarah and I clung to each other like never before, the shared trauma solidifying our bond. We still talk about that day. The day we dodged a ballistic missile strike, even though it was only a phantom. It's a constant reminder of how fragile life is, and how quickly everything you know can be taken away by a single, accidental keystroke. I live every day now with a deeper sense of gratitude, because for 20 horrifying minutes, I truly believed I was saying goodbye to the world, and somehow I didn't.